let's get to our Premier League predictions. You don't have to worry about this one, Craig.
Well, no, because I told the producer to get stuffed.
We'll start with you, Shaka. Where do Spurs feature in your predictions?
Fifth. I'm like just about everybody on the planet think Arsenal are going to win the league. I'm expecting a big season for Liverpool under new management. No more Salah, so you build the team differently as a result. I think Liverpool will be Arsenal's closest contenders. How close, I'm not so sure. Chelsea, with no champions, with no European football, and a very good manager in Xabi Alonso.
Are you going to go through every team here?
Yeah, I will. I
think. Go and get a cup of tea if you're going to do that.
Get two. I think City will struggle by their standards.
You're taking so long, they've taken the graphic down.
But I remember once, I think Spurs will be good. Manchester United.
You've forgotten.
No, it's Man U at 6.
You're not high on them. They're not higher for you.
No,
Man United hater.
I thought United were very good last season, back in the last season in particular, with no European football. But let's remember how much they struggled, albeit under a different manager, in the first half of the season. I just don't think they'll be that much better or good enough to get any higher.
Bukayo Saka, that's an interesting one. I mean, I think he's an absolutely terrific player. Had his injury problems last year, looked a bit tired. Wasn't a great World Cup for him. Hasn't had much rest. He's another one of those players that Theo talked about. Hasn't had much rest. Can he, without that rest, can he somehow pick himself up and be that player again?
Well, I think came into the World Cup injured, didn't feature an awful lot.
Yep.
I think this is a big season for Bukayo Saka. I'm backing Bukayo Saka to be fit throughout and be outstanding. All the promise that
it is a big season for him because Arsenal have, I think for a lot of players at Arsenal, it's a big season for them because they've built this squad that's saying, if you're not playing well, come and sit on the bench next to me because we have players. There's maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4. Maybe a bit more than that are pretty much guaranteed. And then the rest of the players at Arsenal, a lot of them, you could say, right, if your Gyökeres is not playing well, then Havertz is in, and vice versa. And the same in the wide positions, and maybe the same in the full-back positions. So, yeah.
Theo, we made you do your predictions, and you did file them. Let's see them, and you can talk us through yours.
There we go.
Goodness
me, look at that baby face. Wow. So... I mean, very similar in some ways. Like, I've not put Tottenham.
Come on.
I just think for me, they're still going to be, top 10, but not, enough to break this top 6. To be fair, I'd look at Aston Villa. I know they've lost a lot of players, but the fact the manager's there, I think, is the biggest factor for me. That's why they're going to stay there. Manchester City, I just feel the transition side of things. Like I said before, you just don't want to be that guy. Chelsea, I think it'll be a lot tighter though. That's the thing. I don't think it'll be as many points, gap between a lot of these teams. To be honest, Manchester United, I think, having Carrick for the full season. I think is going to be a test in itself, and having the likes of Rashford there, I think, is, exceptional player if you can get the right one. And then players, top goal scorer Haaland's hard to look past him, to be honest. And Cole Palmer, my player of the season. I'd love to say Bukayo Saka, but I just haven't experienced not going to the World Cup and then playing probably one of my best seasons after a World Cup. Because I was that fire, that anger, just to show people what I wanted to do. I think Cole Palmer is going to be very similar in that sense. And having someone like Xabi Alonso who want to get the best out of those players that are the game changers, the players that are going to affect the games in a positive manner, I think it's going to really kind of play for him because he wanted to get the best players, the ball in the best positions. And I think Cole Palmer, having Xabi Alonso's experience, will help him with that. So I've gone for him for my player of the season.
I love it. Is it really like that with the chip on your shoulder then, Theo, that you can go on and have that season that could make you the player of the season?
Do you know what it is? It's, at times, you might be... The reason why you didn't go, for instance, you might have did the safe pass or did the safe thing and not did the things that you're born to do. Like for me, at times, maybe it was overthinking things. And I just thought, no, let's just let this, like the guy said, just... let the handbrake off and then see what happens. And it's like you back at playing football with your mates at school again. And it felt like that for me, that going into that season. And I had a good one that year. So I think something different with Cole this year. I'm expecting big things. So I hope he does, because I think it was really wrong for him not to be in the World Cup squad. He should have been there in my eyes, to be fair.
And you think about Xabi Alonso's time at Leverkusen and how he didn't just build the team all around Florian Wirtz, because there was others. There was Granit Xhaka and several other components. but he certainly worked his team around him a little bit as the star man, as the playmaker. And we may see something similar with Cole Palmer. There are other players at Chelsea, of course. But when he was doing... And he didn't have a great season, like Phil Foden, who didn't go to the World Cup. And we can debate those things all day and every day. And I think the more we see what happened with Thomas Tuchel's side, you could say one of them at least should have been in that team to make a difference. But Cole Palmer that year in particular, when he just... Every time he went on the field, not in an arrogant way, but his chest was out and he was doing stuff that you went, wow, what a pass. How did he spot that? How did he see that? And if he can get back to that, he can be and there's a lot, it's always a difficult question, you know, Phil Foden's the same. An unbelievable talent. Can Phil Foden sign a new contract? Can he get back to being this player of, I don't know, 3 years ago when he was probably one of the first in the Man City team sheet? And I'm being serious about that. He was such a consistently terrific player. And somewhere along the line, for whatever reasons, 2 or 3 of these players, these playmakers, have sort of lost their way a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see, particularly with a change in manager at both those clubs I'm talking about, whether these guys can get back to what they were. And if they do, their teams have a really good chance of being in the mix. But they need those big players, those big game changers, which Alonso had at Leverkusen. All those games that were tight, Wirtz would do something a little bit special, which we haven't seen at Liverpool. And again, changing manager for him there, that might be the same. So Cole Palmer's another one that's going to be an interesting one. We don't know. We know Haaland will score goals. We know there's a lot of stuff we know about the Premier League. We don't know with the new managers and some of these playmakers that had poor seasons, what version of them we're going to get when the new season starts. And that's going to make it pretty exciting, I think.
What we do know is that it's past Theo's bedtime and we're going to let him go. We want to say thank you.
What is it? 10:30?
Yeah, he said 10:30.
Hey, when the kids get up early, I'm telling you, it's 10:30.
No, I thought the only one that moaned about late times in this show was Frank Leboeuf in France.
New person to back you up on that one. Theo, thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for getting your predictions in, and we look forward to speaking to you again. And make sure to stay with the guys later on Extra Time. YouTube channel will have you covered for that, answering all of your questions.
Imagine asking me for a prediction when I'm on a flight.